What are you fighting for? What are you jumping on these calls for? What do you want to get better for? Who are you doing this for? What's the vision? What's the outcome? What's the man? Who is the man or woman that God called you to be? Who's that person you see down the road? Who are you 5 years from now, 7 years from now, 10 years from now? What kind of lifestyle are you living? What kind of life do your children live? What kind of relationships do you have? What's your health life? What's your spiritual life? What's your financial life look like? Do we have a vision? Are we clear on the why? We always start there. This becomes the reason that we must not quit. Whenever we things get hard, whenever the journey of building wealth gets hard, whenever the journey of fixing your health gets hard, whenever the journey of being in relationships gets hard, we know the reason why we don't quit. We know what we're doing it for. If we don't have that, it makes it really easy to quit. It makes it really easy to soften, makes it really easy to take that step back. So first and foremost, do you know why you mustn't quit? Do you know why you're in the grind? Do you know why you're going after these things? It's always going to be some emotional connection. It's a why. Start there. Start there. Some things I wrote down. You got to change your values to go to the next level. Some of us are very stuck to our values, that we're stuck to who we were. Your values were who you were a programming that you have. Some of them serve you still, some of them don't serve you anymore. Some of them have kept you alive and kept you safe and gotten you to the place you are now. And now that you're ready to go to the next level in your life, you're ready to go to the next level in your finances, in your health, in your spiritual life, in all the areas. You're ready to go to the next level. You have to change your value system. You have to change your belief system in certain areas. The things that don't no longer serve you, you have to get rid of them so that you can now have a new thought, a new feeling, right? A new idea, a new mindset that serves you for the person you're becoming, not the person that you've been. These are reminders. Don't give up when it gets hard. It's supposed to get hard. The journey is supposed to get hard. Hard is not an excuse. Y'all have heard me say this before. It's a word I often try to eliminate out of my family's mouth, right? Like that, this is hard. It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be. So because it's supposed to be, you should expect it to be. The question is, are you getting better? Are you more capable to handle this now than you were last year? Are you more capable to handle this now than you were 5 years ago? Are you more capable to handle the hard that's in your life? Are you growing the capacity to handle the future hard that's in your life? That's what we're doing. Practice makes permanence, right? So the more you practice something, the more permanent it becomes. And falling in love with the process. Those are things that I wrote down. Falling in love with the process. You got to enjoy the journey. You got to know that this process is what refines you. It's what grows your character. It's what gives you rock solid character. I know these things aren't always the sexiest. These aren't always the things that make us feel the greatest, but these are the things that are necessary for us to design our ideal life. And these are just reminders. You heard it from ET this morning, but you hear this all across the board. These are the same messages. Guys, this is where it all starts. Just came back from a convention in Vegas. That's why we're out for the week. And one of the messages that I heard over and over again was building a belief in yourself. Building a belief. Most people stop believing in themselves after a while. And so, like it says in our text, 177 Mental Toughness Secrets, it says champions develop a world class belief system long before they become a champion, long before they become a winner, long before they become the person that's on stage, long before they become the person that wins all the awards, that does all the great things, that impacts the world, that impacts their community. Before they become that, they have been developing a world class belief system. And if we don't check our beliefs, if we don't check the fact that maybe our belief in ourself isn't as strong, or our belief in our abilities aren't as strong, or our belief in God isn't as strong, when we start to check these things, then we have the ability, again, to change them. But you got to know this is the process. You develop the beliefs first, and then you become the thing. Here's what it says in the text. It says, one of the major distinctions between average performers and champions is their belief system. Like champions, average people tend to be a product of their mental programming from childhood. People of influence, such as parents, teachers, coaches, religious leaders, and others, were primary builders and shapers of our early belief systems. In most cases, this programming is limiting because it comes from people who believe they are limited. That's why average people are saddled with a set of beliefs that are more about survival than success. Average people have been programmed to avoid pain at all costs, which promotes a playing not to lose mentality. Many world class performers were raised with these same beliefs, yet learned to reprogram themselves somewhere along the way. Champions learn how to develop empowering beliefs and invest a substantial amount of time solidifying those beliefs, mostly through their own self talk. With guidance from coaches and mentors, champions monitor the words they use. They know reprogramming is a never ending activity. Some people even consider this process positive brainwashing. When aspiring champions learn they can program any belief they wish through repetitious, ongoing self talk, build that belief into a foundation for their consciousness, it's a revelation. A world class belief system can be created from scratch, no matter what your age, upbringing, or current lot in life. A world class belief system is a primary factor in the making of a champion, and every great performer knows it. While average people see champions as more intelligent, the champions know better. The truth is that intelligence plays a small part. Belief is the real star of the show. Belief. Have you checked your belief system in the areas that you want to grow? In the areas you want to see improvement, y'all. In the areas you're trying to push your life forward. I know we talk about success in all areas on this call. Success does come in all areas. Success is what you define it as. We don't limit ourselves from it's what you define it as in each of the areas, in your health life, in your finances, in your business, and your relationships, and your family life, spiritual life. That's success. So in any of the areas that you want to succeed, that you want to be a champion, that you want to be world class, that you're pushing yourself in that area, you have to identify what are the beliefs you have in that area. All types of beliefs, y'all. All types of beliefs. I do this with people around money because a lot of people don't understand that the reason why they don't bring in money or they don't have a lot of money or all the money that they want to have or whatever is because they have some limiting beliefs around money. There were beliefs that were given to them by teachers, coaches, religious leaders, people of influence, parents, all the things growing up that that we have in our mind that become a belief that then runs our life, right? It's a belief that then runs our life. And because of that, it's hard for us to change. This is how belief systems, it's what it says in the book here. This is how belief systems are implemented. It says parents, teachers, coaches, ministers, friends, relatives, and other people of influence in a child's life, right? A lot of this stuff is from childhood. This is why, y'all, I'm an advocate for therapy, going back, having these conversations, talking about some of the things that maybe you're trying to get through, but you don't know why there's a blockage there. This stuff can be important to talk through because at some point, somebody told you as a child that this is fact, something is fact. And then it says the child accepts the elder's perception of what is fact, even if the elder is completely wrong. The child unconsciously ingrains these beliefs in his or her subconscious and builds habits accordingly. The child grows into an adult operating under dozens of faulty beliefs and habits, but is not consciously aware of it. And then the adult operates under false and limiting beliefs and sets invisible boundaries for his or her life at an unconscious level. That's how it all starts. That's how we develop a belief system. Maybe the belief system around money is money doesn't grow on trees. Money is scarce. Money is hard to come by. We don't have it. Whatever you heard as a child growing up, if you've never changed your money mindset, if you've never identified where there's a blockage in your financial thinking that came from well meaning people, even little bits of advice like, always have a backup plan or go to school just to have a fallback plan, right? It said it up here, y'all. I poke at this. It said something. Yeah, it says that's why average people are saddled with a set of beliefs that are more about survival than success. Unconsciously, you might not know this, but your parents, the people that raised you, they raised you to survive, not to succeed necessarily, to survive. So you have a set of beliefs that help you survive. Now you get introduced to a stage of your life where you want to absolutely succeed and thrive and grow. But the set of beliefs you've had since a child have you just in survival. This is why we got to identify. This is just one area. I see it happen all the time with our money. It's most people don't get better with their money. They think better about their money. They think more about money being in abundance and money, being all over and flows to them easily and they can bless people with it and they get more of it. Like there's a thought process behind it. There's a belief system behind it that allows them to acquire more of it. This is the point. By going after your dreams, by going after the man or woman God called you to be, by wanting to have all the things you want to have in your life, experience all the things, you gotta be aware of what belief system is running your life. Are there limiting beliefs? If there are limiting beliefs, then we have to reprogram, positively brainwash, flip the switch, do the exact opposite. Think of life the exact opposite. Say the exact opposite. Literally say it out of our mouth. That's why it says champions learn how to develop empowering beliefs and invest a substantial amount of time solidifying those beliefs, mostly through their own self-talk. Mostly through their own self-talk, just what we say to ourselves, what we say out loud. You could say that it's expensive, or you could say, I don't make enough money. Right? How do I make more to afford this? Oh, life's too expensive. Oh, I just don't make enough money. How can I afford this? There's certain ways to communicate about the things you want to make happen. And again, the thesis of today's talk is again, your beliefs have to be inputted. You have to change your beliefs, your value system long before you become that person, long before you see the results, long before you get to that place in life where you feel like you deserve to be. You have to change your thinking. This quote here says they can because they think they can. I used to tell people around money doesn't go to people that deserve it. It goes to people that believe they deserve it. Right? If you don't believe you deserve it, if you don't have a belief system that says, right, money goes to really good people for doing good work, you have some other belief system that believes you got to step on people to get money. In order to make a bunch of money, you have to do something immoral or bad. Like if you have a subconscious belief, you will block yourself from making money. If you believe it's no fun to be healthy, there's nothing good to eat when you're healthy. It's always a restriction. There's always something you can't have fun. If you start thinking that way about your health, it's going to be really hard to change your diet. It's really going to be really hard to change what you put in because your belief is telling you that's not what I right that's not in alignment. That's not in congruence with what we think. So we got to change our beliefs, y'all. That is the message. You got to change how you think. Call it positive brainwashing, call it reprogramming. It doesn't matter. This is the primary thing you got to focus on if you want to go change your life. If you want to change some of your outcomes, you got to change your belief system. Start with believing in yourself. Start with believing that you're capable of doing it, whatever the things are. You heard ET say it in the video. He was very comfortable speaking in certain places, y'all, very comfortable speaking at, prisons and for youth. And then he said he gets into the boardroom, he gets into corporate America, and he doesn't feel as comfortable there. That's his belief system. It wasn't his words, it wasn't the truth, it wasn't fact. He just didn't feel comfortable there. Have you identified those areas in your life where you step into it, you just don't have the same confidence. You don't believe you necessarily should be in that room. You don't believe this part is for you. You don't, right? That's a belief. And can we change that belief? Can we work on changing the belief that we do belong there? We do deserve that outcome. We do deserve the good thing. We do deserve to be in that position. We do deserve to make that money. Like, can you put yourself in the mental position, even if that's not what you're experiencing right now in life, to just say that you can, like, that you should do that, right? You can say to yourself that your belief is different now in this area. This is the work. This is the work. Again, it says average people see champions as more intelligent. It has nothing to do with your intelligence, it has nothing to do with your talent, it has nothing to do with any of those things. It just has to do with your decision to say, I'm going to reprogram myself. I'm going to identify what limiting beliefs I have. I'm going to identify what set of beliefs are no longer serving me. I'm going to identify what set of beliefs I had from childhood that just set me up to survive. And I'm grateful that I survived. I'm grateful that I made it this far. Now I need to change my value system. Now I need to remove some things out of my life. Now I need to remove some thought processes out of my life and add new ones that are going to help me get to that next place. Brainwash myself positively to the right things, and then repeat these things over and over again. That's what it says. It says when aspiring champions learn, they can reprogram any belief they wish. You can reprogram any belief that you wish through repetitious, ongoing self-talk. That's how you rebuild it. Whatever you identified after today, you've identified, okay, this is an area that I have some limiting beliefs. I got to start talking to myself better. Then you go to Chat GPT if you can't think of this yourself, right? Go to Chat GPT and type in, give me 5 affirmations affirming the opposite of this thought. Whatever thought you just had, that was the thought that you want to get rid of. You can't think of what to say, go to chat, say, hey, can you give me 5 affirming statements that go against this thought that I had? They're going to give you 5 of them. You can refine them and just say those to yourself over and over again all day, every day. You do that for a 30-day, 60-day, 90-day, 120-day, 180-day period consistently. Watch how your life changes because your belief systems will change. Your mind will start changing. You can do this in every area if you're aware. If you're aware. Action step for today says make a list of your most closely held beliefs and begin the process of questioning whether they are serving you or holding you back. Are they serving you or are they holding you back? That's what you got to pay attention to. Ron, I saw you said in there, I'm glad you made it on today too, right? We have to repeat these things so you get it. Just like we repeated our ABCs for 150 days in a row in school, right? They made you sing the ABC song until you got it. You got it, and you got it pretty quickly. And then you moved on to words, sight words, and then you moved on to reading sentences. But it's a building process. And so that's what these messages do. You get bombarded with all the messages and all the distractions out there all day long. And so this is time for you to take in the right messages, positively brainwash yourself to doing the things you know you need to do to go off and design your ideal life, y'all. I love you guys. I want you to win. You deserve it. Your families deserve it. They're counting on you. People are counting on you to get this information, to do something with it, to build the capacity so that when life gets tough, you're there to help them be able to handle some of these things, y'all. So let's go out, make it a good Monday. I'll see you guys back here on Wednesday for another mindset call. Take care.